So yesterday I was listening to the Trash Taste podcast when there was a bit about vibes, the vibe given off by a manga, and they were having a hard time defining vibes, a really hard time explaining. And in just a couple of minutes I came up with a definition, which is this. So here in this video I'll be explaining why I think this is a very good definition for vibes and actually what this means basically. So the definition is: vibes are the feeling given by the interaction between the elements of something. Why something? Well, everything can really have a vibe. A room can have a vibe, a concert can have a vibe, but a lamp might have a vibe, or even a guy, he's kind of creepy. That's a vibe. I also have a vibe. I don't know what the vibe that I'm giving off is. So, something is really anything. Vibes are a synonym to atmosphere, though they encompass a lot more, because atmosphere usually means just a room or a place, whereas vibes, as we discussed, can be given off by anything. Why feeling? Well, vibes are an impression. They're personal. Each person interprets differently the vibes that something gives off. So some might like it, some might not like it. Okay, now the meat and potatoes, the big part, the important part of the definition. What does interaction between the elements of mean? This is really what's important, because vibes can still be the same even though the elements are different. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take the example of a manga that was in the podcast. So, if you have a manga, the vibes aren't given by the art style or the story or the characters. They aren't given even by the sum of the story and characters and art. They are given by how those elements interact with each other. So, even if I replace some characters with other characters, if the interaction between characters and story and characters and art style and characters and whatever you want is the same, the vibe that the manga gives will be the same. If in a room I replace a lamp with another lamp that works just as well, it's just maybe a different color, but the way it was built is pretty much the same. Well, the vibes will be pretty much the same, sometimes even the same, no change. Because the elements of the room work just as well together, give off the same vibe. But if I replace a small thing like a pillow with a totally different pillow, the vibe that the whole room gives might be completely different. If I just take out a rug, for example, because all of the elements won't interact with that rug anymore, the interaction between the elements will be totally different, so the vibes will be totally different. I'll give just another example, just to be extremely precise. So, I give off some vibes, for sure. I don't know which, because you interpret them in your personal way. Feeling. Now, if I were to not wear pants, I would be giving very different vibes. Why? Well, me not wearing pants, with me trying to grow this mustache, with me being in a pretty empty room talking to myself, means a lot more serial killer than me with pants, with a little bit of a mustache, talking to a camera by myself, which gives very try-hard and desperate vibes. So basically, vibes are given by the interaction of the elements, not the elements by themselves or the sum of the element, which might be different if we exchange some elements with others. The vibe being the same, because the vibe is given by the interaction between the elements that compose a thing. Well, thank you for watching. Subscribe.